Most teenagers spend their summer vacations with their friends, but not Lily. Lily was sent to stay with her grandparents for 3 weeks in Wyoming. Of course, her grandparents live on the outside of a small town where cell phones don't have service and where computers still rely on dial-up. Not to mention the closest friend Lily has there lives several blocks away, and although that doesn't seem so far, it is when you have to travel uphill with no car or bike to get there. Fortunately for Lily, she won't be going anywhere this trip because her mother told her grandparents she has failed math and her grandmother has made it her goal to improve Lily's math skills while she is visiting. "What does it matter if I know the Pythagorean Theorem?" she asked her grandmother. The definition of the Pythagorean Theorem is the area of the square whose side is the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the areas of the squares whose sides are the two legs in any right triangle. Basically, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, with a and b representing the two legs and c representing the hypotenuse. "Well," her grandmother says, "if you knew the Pythagorean Theorem, your walk to Brittany's house would be shorter. In fact, before you can go to Brittany's house, you have to first tell me how many feet apart we are from Brittany's house, taking the quickest route." "Oh, Grandma, are you serious? Do you know how long it will take me to figure out? How am I even supposed to know the number of feet in any direction, let alone the shortest? It's not like I've ever counted my steps before." "Well," said Lily's grandmother again, "I anticipated you would want to see Brittany, so I've already taken care of the measurements. So all you have to do is determine the shortest distance. I'll even give you a hint. The quickest way to her house is the hypotenuse side of a triangle." The definition of hypotenuse is the longest side of a right angle triangle, which is the side opposite the right angle. "Fine," says Lily. "Let's get this over with. Where do I even begin? Can I draw any kind of triangle? Which way do I draw the triangle? This is so frustrating." Lily's grandmother tells her, "Think of the triangle as roads leading to Brittany's house. 2 of the roads have to be the legs of a triangle, and the diagonal shortcut has to be the hypotenuse. Keep in mind that the triangle must be a right triangle with 2 legs that make up the shorter sides." The definition of a right triangle is a triangle containing only one right angle equal to 90 degrees. The definition of the legs of a triangle are the 2 shortest sides in a right triangle that meet at the right angle. The legs are also known as the adjacent side and the opposite side, with the small box connecting them in the corner designating the triangle as a right triangle. Lily pulls out a sheet of paper while her grandmother tells her the measurements. Her grandmother reads aloud, "Walk 75 feet east on the bike path starting from the front door. Then turn north on Oak Street and proceed to walk 50 feet to Brittany's front door." So Lily begins working on this problem. She draws a triangle with the bike path as one leg and Oak Street as the other leg. She begins at her grandmother's house and ends at Brittany's house, remembering that the hypotenuse is the shortest distance. Lily begins plugging in values using the Pythagorean Theorem's formula, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, or in this case, bike path squared plus Oak Street squared equals shortest distance squared. "Okay, Grandma, I think I figured it out. The 2 legs of the triangle are 50 feet squared and 75 feet squared, and if I add them together, I have the hypotenuse squared. So 50 squared is 2,500, and 75 squared is 5,625, and if I add them together, I have 8,125 feet squared, which equals the hypotenuse. If I take the square root of 8,125, I know the shortest distance to Brittany's house is 90.1 feet. So am I right? Can I go now?" "Yes, you're right. But before you go, can you tell me the distance using the distance formula?" "Oh, Grandma!" The definition of distance is how far apart 2 points are on a coordinate plane. The distance formula is the square root of the distance between 2 points.